you truly believe in it, if you become vocal with it, you are creating that law of attraction and it will become reality.
Wait, what did he just say? Law of attraction? Actually, this isn't the first time I've heard of this.
You attract, not just what you feel, you attract what you feel, what you are, what you attract. What's on your mind,
It's like
exactly.
the law of physics. I don't know how anybody can disagree with that. It's just, ask any physicist, they'll tell you that it's true. Yeah.
I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever.
This was in like 1987, 85,
yeah.
And
I had nothing at that time, so it was like, but it just made me feel better.
You have to understand, you are a magnet. Whatever you are, that's what you draw to you. If you're negative, you're going to draw negativity. You positive, you draw positive.
With hundreds of books being written about the subject and countless celebrities attesting to the fact that it exists, there has to be something to this idea. Now, if you've seen the documentary The Secret, you likely know exactly what the law of attraction is.
We all work with one infinite power. We all guide ourselves by exactly the same laws.
But even if you do, and you have seen it, this video is still going to be relevant because we're going to talk about what it is and what it isn't.
The secret is the law of attraction.
You see, the law of attraction is believed to be similar to, like, let's say the law of gravity, in which case it's working all the time, and it's a force beyond ourselves that influences the world in a particular way. So let's start with the definition. What is it? The full definition says something like this. The law of attraction is the belief that by focusing on a positive or negative thought, a person brings a positive or negative experience into their life. Now, this is something most people would agree with, or at least that's easy to agree with. Take a moment right now to think what it would feel like if someone stole your identity. If someone took all the money out of your savings account, out of your life's account, out of everything that you ever owned, and you had to start with zero, with nothing. It doesn't feel very good when you think about that scenario. Now think for a moment if your best friend came to you with a winning lottery ticket and he said you guys are gonna split the winnings 50-50. That feels pretty good. Now, both of these scenarios have not actually happened to you in the past few moments, yet you still feel the emotions associated with it. You still felt good or bad based upon the given scenario. This is because the brain has the power to influence our emotions and underlying behaviors regardless of what we see with our eyes. In essence, we're shaping how we feel throughout the day based upon what ideas and what thoughts pop into our minds. Okay, I get that. Now let's think about the law of attraction, where most of the controversy lies. In that, thoughts have the power to manifest things into reality. At least that's what the thought leaders preach. In other words, people have the ability to create things that they think about in their minds.
Champion Conor McGregor. Conor, you've been dreaming about this moment. You've been talking about this moment. Honestly though, does it feel the way you thought it would?
Yeah, it does. It feels beautiful. I dreamt this so much, so clearly, so precisely, and so frequently that it has manifested itself into reality. And that's what I am feeling right now. It's a dream come true.
Now this sounds like wishful thinking. After all, we've all thought about making $1 million, yet where exactly are the millions? And that's where the law of attraction actually loses most people. Practitioners of the law of attraction claim that it's an ongoing process, that it is continually happening throughout the day, moment by moment, even when you're not thinking about it. But let's separate the fantasy from reality. Let's use a quick example. Let's say a person starts believing in the law of attraction and gets up every morning to visualize himself or herself making millions of dollars. We'll call this person Tom. Day after day, Tom practices this technique and tells himself just before he goes to work, I'm gonna make $1 million. I'm gonna become a millionaire. And he does this every single day. He goes to work, he comes home, he socializes, he watches TV, he goes to bed, and then he does it all over again the next day. A year goes by and he has made no significant progress. So he gives up and says, well, that stuff is bogus. This is what usually happens. Now, person number 2, we'll call him Fred, is at the exact same company, in the exact same position, and he follows the same technique. Except when he thinks about becoming a millionaire, it motivates the living hell out of him. It soon becomes what he thinks about all day at work, and when he comes home, he changes his social crowd to a higher socioeconomic friend group. He also starts working on a small internet business about, let's say, the best underwear brands. He creates an online website and starts doing that on the side. After a year, Fred comes home to find out that he's now making more from selling his underwear brands and making investments with his new friends than he is at his job. He gets more motivated by this and goes full-time into his underwear sales website and investing more with his rich friends, and 5 years later, he makes his first $1 million. What's the difference between the two people? Well, first you might say, well, it's obvious that Fred worked much harder than Tom. He actually did the things that were required to generate wealth. Yes, that's clear. But what you don't see is the internal process that happened. Fred changed his habits and behaviors because of the law of attraction. The law of attraction was the starting point, and it continued to affect him on an ongoing basis. I use this example to illustrate that the law of attraction doesn't actually work the way people think it does. The reality is, before we influence the world, we must first influence our brain. This is where most people go wrong. What's interesting about human beings is we have what psychologists call a self-image. It's an idea of who we are and what we're capable of. So when you say things like, I love to go fishing, I hate ketchup, I'm a hard worker, that's part of you defining your self-image. And when we do this, we're actually sending unconscious signals to our brain which tell us to conform within those boundaries. These signals that we send to our brain in turn manipulate us into our habits and behaviors that we exhibit on a day-to-day basis. Understand, this process is totally unconscious, so you probably don't even know that it's going on. You see, our brains seek congruency. It tries to avoid confusion and uncertainty because that leads to pain. The more our brain has to think about things, the more stress and energy the brain uses. So it tries to keep things as simple as possible. By using the law of attraction to visualize something new about yourself or your circumstances, you're actually sending neurological signals throughout your entire body that are influencing that self-image. But how powerful is this stuff? Well, the truth is, it's as powerful as you make it, and that's what makes the difference. Think about an activity that you've never even tried in your life. Let's say playing a game of polo. Chances are you probably haven't played this game before, and so you don't have much confidence in it. So if I told you tomorrow you'll be playing in a competitive match in front of all of your friends and family, you would probably say, hell no, I don't even know how to ride a horse. Now think about an activity that you do really well, like let's say cooking or playing basketball or whatever you're good at. If I pose the same scenario, you would probably say, well sure, I could do that, because your self-image has already seen you doing it before. This is an example of the law of attraction and the self-image at work. Since you can't see yourself playing polo, you don't play that activity, therefore attracting more of you not playing, confirming that belief. And since you see yourself doing the other activity that you said yes to, you attract more of doing that activity, therefore reinforcing that belief about your self-image. By seeing ourselves in our minds actually doing these things, we're driving the confidence and the motivation to make these things happen in reality. But now here's where it gets interesting. The law of attraction has the power to give you the confidence to do the things that you've never done before. To quote Maxwell Maltz, MD, the mind cannot tell the difference between an imagined experience and a real one. In other words, it's a confidence and a skill builder, even without going through the process in reality. Need scientific evidence to support the claim? Years ago, an Australian psychologist named Alan Richardson conducted a now famous experiment in sports visualization and muscle memory. He gathered subjects and had them shoot 100 basketball foul shots, recording their base numbers. He then randomly divided the subjects into 3 separate groups. Group A was told to practice foul shots for 20 minutes, 5 days a week, for 4 weeks. Group B was asked to come in, similar to Group A, 5 days a week for 20 minutes, and was told that instead of shooting the ball, they would be guided by a professional in visualizing shooting foul shots without ever even touching the ball. In other words, they would just imagine themselves in their minds shooting the ball. Group C, on the other hand, was ordered to do nothing at all related to basketball for the next 4 weeks, not even to think about it. After 4 weeks, Richardson had all the subjects come back and shoot the 100 foul shots again. Group A improved in their ability about 24%. Group C, the control group, the no ball group, made no significant improvement. But what happened to Group B, the imagination group? They improved by 23%, nearly as much as the group that actually shot the basketballs. This study was then retested at the University of Chicago and found similar results. Freaky. Okay, so this works on people playing basketball, but how can we use this to drastically change our own lives? Well, first we have to understand that this process is not instant, especially regarding tasks like making $1 million or becoming the next big UFC champion. These feats require hard work and patience to attract. But by using the law of attraction, you significantly increase your chances and reduce the amount of time that it will take. What we are aiming to do is change our habitual behaviors and our self-image. By using the law of attraction to visualize good things happening to us and doing those good things, we drastically start to change who we are and how we operate and increase the odds of those things that we want actually coming true. Your brain suddenly becomes addicted to those good feelings that you're visualizing in your mind, in turn influencing your behavior on a subconscious level to start performing those actions and those things that are going to actually bring about the things that you want. Your brain can't help it. It happens on a subconscious level, and suddenly you start to engage in activities that help support that new self-image about yourself. And with time, patience, and persistence, soon your life becomes exactly how you imagined. So what went wrong with the first guy, Tom? He tried it and nothing changed for him at all. Well, I'll be talking about the process of using the law of attraction in a video to come. For now, let's review what we've learned in this video. 1. The law of attraction is a popular concept that many celebrity figures and wealthy individuals believe in. 2. The law of attraction is not wishful thinking. 3. You must influence the self-image for it to begin attracting the things that you want. 4. The law of attraction works on a subconscious level to motivate you to take the necessary actions to change. Number 5. The law of attraction improves both confidence and skill. 6. Scientific studies have confirmed its existence and its results. And 7. You must practice it regularly to receive the benefits of it. That's it for today, and thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of content, consider subscribing if you're new. I'll be posting videos like this 3 days a week or more that talk about psychology and self-improvement. And if you agree with the topic that I just talked about in this video, make sure to comment below. If you've had results, if you don't believe in it, share it with the community so we can have a thoughtful discussion about the topics that we're discussing. And if you would like to learn more about this topic, consider checking out the description below the video. I'll be pointing out where you can go watch that movie, The Secret, that talks about the law of attraction. And then I've also outlined 3 of my favorite books on this particular subject that you can go and check out yourself. And if you would like to help me improve the quality of this channel, be sure to check out my Patreon page where you can make a charitable donation to this channel, which I will directly reinvest back into this channel, improving the equipment, improving the editing software, and bringing better content to not only the viewers, but also to you yourself. Thank you so much, and I will see you on the next video.